Hi guys, so I'm just going to record this quick video showing how I trade US30 using order blocks. If you haven't already traded order blocks, or at least watched the videos that Tan's put out, then make sure you go over there and check them out. But without further ado, let's get into it. So pretty much this completely relies on knowing the trend, similar to the original order blocks. I'm going to start from my most recent trades that I've taken on US30, which would be from here. So if we start here, and I'm just going to quickly go over it, this is my order block. Why? Because similar to the way Tans trades it, there's a break of structure there. Whether you class that as structure or not, then that's down to you. But at the same time, there is a double top here, which again we don't usually trade off, but it is extra confluence should you need it. So from here, again, based off momentum alone, where's my thing? Right here. From here, bullish wise, it took about 6 hours to reach the point of this high here, and it only took 2 hours to come straight back down. So at this point, I'm going to assume it's bearish. The trend is bearish, especially coming from across here. If we look further back slightly, we have transitioned from the bullish into the bearish, so I'm going to assume we're still bearish. So this is my order block again. Now this works on any time frame, so you can either go from the 4 hour or the 1 hour, or it's completely up to you. I usually use the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 30 minutes and the 5 minutes, but it's completely up to you what you want to use. So from here, there was a 5-minute entry, I believe. Yeah, right here. Let's see. So again, exactly just how Tans does it. So we're refining into the 5-minute here. Let's see. Right here. So this is our refinement. But instead of waiting for change of momentum as Tans does, we literally just place our sell limit. Right here. Stop loss would be just above it. I tend to put it a couple of pips above. Well, a couple of points above, considering it's US30. My target comes from the hourly. So we can set 2 targets here. One of them would be here, as this is recent structure. Right here, this is area of resistance, and down here could be our next target. And these are our 2 targets. So you can enter with, with the target in mind on the higher time frame. If I can pull this down, right here. Okay, so there are our 2 targets. Again, how you want to manage your risk during these trades is completely up to you. You can close half at this point and hold, or you can hold the entire position, or you can see how it reacts to this level and then go from there. But again, we'll play from here, and we eventually see a nice tap in here, and that's it. Pretty much we're in the trade, and target 1 is almost been hit, has been hit there. Now again, I already know this hits target 2, but I didn't hold it all the way down there. To be honest, I took it here. So that is exactly how that trade would have went. But from here is where the strategy changes a little bit. So we start taking the next order block on our time frame. So we're waiting for an order block to appear. The only difference is we don't wait for a break of structure. So now you're probably thinking, how do we know if it's a valid order block or not? And it's a very good question. So as long as we have a nice bullish, bearish or bullish push, whether it breaks structure or not, it doesn't matter. But we are looking for something that doesn't look choppy and we have nice structure. So right about now is good. And the reason I know this is because we have structure here, and US30 structures very, very nicely. So this is now our order block right here. Let me change this to yellow. Okay, so that's our order block right there. But again, that is obviously too big to enter off alone. So we can again go into the 5-minute, and you can pick. So this is the most recent 1 hour order block. So based off this, we can either take this trade here, this trade here, or this trade here. But this is where I start refining it again, similar to how Tans does it, because we are now taking the most recent order block. Price drops a little bit further, and see where we come up to. surely we get an entry here. Oh, I didn't mean to move that. Okay, so this is the hourly order block. We haven't actually touched it yet, not gonna lie. If I move it up slightly. Nah, okay, so I'm gonna go for the top one, and we don't get that, unfortunately. So, let's see what this reacted off. Okay, so it was this order block here. Again, you can go off this like it's Tanz's strategy. It works exactly the same, if not better, just because it's US30 and the structure is a lot better through this. So again, this order block here was the one that caused the breaker structure. Should you call potentially even this one here, like that, and that caused the breaker structure as we see here. If I can get my arrow tool, breaker structure right there. So again, that comes back up and we get this nice push downwards. So personally, I didn't hit any of these trades because I missed them all, probably because of the way I've just analysed it there. But again, now we're looking for the next order block, which is this one here. If I delete the rest of the analysis now, as they are now invalid, this is the most recent order block we're going to use now. And we'll wait for price to come into it like this. And again, we drop into our lower time frame and see if we can get a refined entry again. But again, we're just using the most recent order blocks only. Again, right now we're in. Now it's up to you whether you use the entry or you use the what do you call it, the 50%. Same target, whatever. And there we go. But it's important that you target, I've just completely put that back to gold apparently, okay. It's important that you target the most recent structure, which is here. This is the low. You don't target anything lower than that. You don't target a lower low, whatever you go from. So say if we did get in this entry here, which we didn't, but if we did get in off this part here, our take profit would be either here or here, which is the most recent structure. You don't want to target this one. Because again, price came all the way back up, and it makes it a long hold. But the way I'm going in for is a sort of scalping style, preferably not to hold longer than a day, and then just get in and out, hit your take profit, and then that's it. So this one, if we did get into it after the entry, which I didn't, but if we did, then that's a 7-1, and this one right here is a 6-1. Again, as you can see, we could have held them so much longer, but that's not the point of the way I trade US30. I'm literally trading it to get the most recent structure and get in and out as soon as possible. Again, this would have been our order block here. Actually, I wouldn't have took that one personally. So we are actually at current time. So I'm going to go back and show some more examples in this bullish push here probably. But another thing I want to highlight is US30 uses structure very, very nicely. So right here, we have this, like, this is structure, and you can see where the major order blocks sort of trigger from, which is from here. I would expect this to drop. It did react off this bullish order block here, but we haven't had the British structure, so we expect this to drop back down and see what happens. Potentially target this level here, which is, you know, the next low. So again, if we were to enter off this level, I would 50% this just because it's so big. I don't know, the stop loss is a bit big on this one for my liking, so I wouldn't take it. But again, I'm expecting this to drop down to here and follow structure. But if we look for bullish examples, right here, okay, we'll go from here. So this one's a typical order block example, similar how Tanz trades it. We've got the British structure. We have the order blocks here. I would take this order block right here because this is the one that took the high out. So we'll see what happens. We already know that it does react off something, but I'm not exactly sure what. And it breaks straight through that one. So at that point, we look at the next one, which is this one right here. 50% that. And I would be entered off this point here. Obviously, if you are playing it live, then you wouldn't have this sort of issue where, you know, you get the wick down and wick back up. You would have entered perfectly off the wick, and that's where your limit would have been set. Again, recent high, so you can target this order block here, again, like Tan says, you can sell or buy to your order blocks, or you can take it to the high, which is what I would be doing. Let's see what happens here. Okay, this is very, very choppy indeed. Okay, so looks like we are going to hit take profit, hopefully. Remember, at this point you'd be trailing stop loss as well. My stop loss would be below this low at this point. And there we go, we do hit take profit at the recent structure. And from here, I don't want to enter a trade just yet because I want to see what happens. Because we are very, very choppy right now, as you can see. There's the low, there's the high up here. Not any real direction. But looks like we are reacting off this order block. And if we do get a reaction, then again, we're back to bearish bias. But we're not, we're getting a bullish move. So we're looking for any big push coming from a single candle. This one right here, same order block actually. It lines up perfectly with this one. Did this hit 50%? I don't think it does. Nah, I wouldn't have personally been triggered off that, and we do end up flying up. Never mind. Okay, now again, big bearish push. Doesn't matter if we're bullish here all the way up and we're bearish whatever, I am going to be looking for bearish trades. Most recent order block, which is up there. Let's see what happens here. Okay, and again we just sell it to recent structure, which is here. I'll put the order in just to be sure. Remember, stop loss is always above the order block. You could 50% this, but you wouldn't have been triggered in. We'll see if we lose here. Oh, you would have been triggered in actually, but you would have lost. Okay, yeah, that's not coming back. But hopefully you get the gist of it. It's literally just the most recent order block and making sure that you're using structure with it, because it does help. Let's see here. I'll try and get one more trade in just to wrap up the video. No trigger there. Right now I would probably buy, just because this bullish spike here, again, I would be classing this as my order block. It's not exactly what you would class as a standard order block, but it would still work. If you bought here, see what happens. Yeah, so that would have been potentially a one trade. Okay, yeah, that would have been a good trade. So again, most recent order block, any big push that we have, we will take those trades, based as long as you have your bias. From the higher time frame, again, we have the bullish bias, so taking that sell could have been stupid, but since we're only taking very, very short term trades, it can work out perfectly the way you want it. So yeah, that buy would have hit take profit for sure, as I would have probably just targeted a 4-to-1, just because we don't actually have any structure to target. Potentially up here, but that is risky. But I'm going to see where this goes. Yeah, this is where I took the trade here, so that would never have hit this level. So taking a 4-to-1 and not getting greedy, and just letting the risk reward play out towards our favour. But yeah, that's my US30 strategy. This is solely what I've been trading for the past 2-3 months now. I'm not too sure, since we started order blocks. But yeah, works a treat. It works on DAX, works on any of the indexes across the board, so make sure you try them and show me your results.